Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show y'all how I make my family's chocolate chip cookies as well as mine. You'll see the added ingredient at the end for my cookies. So let's get started with the ingredients you'll need to make these. You're going to need 2.5 cups of almond flour, and you can use any brand that you prefer. I like the Nature's Eats. We're also going to need 1/2 cup of coconut flour. Again, any brand that you choose is fine. Next, I like to use 1 cup of brown sugar. So I use the Swerve brand brown sugar. In this case, I didn't have enough for a cup, so I added a little bit of the pure that I normally use for my other baking. We're also going to need 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of xantham gum, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt for this. 1 egg. 1 cup of butter, or you can use ghee. I actually prefer it with ghee, but I didn't have any today, so I used butter. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I like to use also a 1/4 cup of heavy cream, or you can use almond milk. I just feel like it makes the cookies a little bit chewier. They're just nicer to the bite. And of course, the star of the show here, the chocolate chips. I like Lily's chocolate chips. You can use any. In this case, I did 1/2 chocolate chips, 1/2 pecans. You can omit either or just do plain butter cookies. It's completely up to you guys how you want to create your own recipe for this cookie. So to start off, we are going to be creaming the butter, preferably room temperature butter or softened butter to make it, a quicker process and easier to mix. So we're going to be mixing that on low for a couple of minutes or a minute or two. Scrape that all down. We're going to be adding your sugar. And I should have mentioned this earlier, but normally I mix my dry ingredients beforehand and then start pouring them in little by little. In this video, you'll see where I'll be adding the flours first. And then I am going to completely forget about adding the teaspoon of baking powder and all of that stuff, but you'll see me add it towards the very end. I didn't forget it, guys. So I just finished adding the creamer in here, or the heavy cream, and I'm going to scrape all this down and add my chocolate chips and those pecans and finish mixing that up. When I move this to the side, that's when I'm going to realize that I left out the baking powder, the xanthan gum, and the salt, and I'll be adding those separately. I was having my shoot moment right there. Like I said, if you mix your dry ingredients beforehand, you'll find that it's so much easier and quicker to just mix your dough before you add in the chocolate chips or the pecans, or both, whichever one you decide. So now I'm going to scoop these out. I like to use the small ice cream scoop. Just makes it a lot quicker and a lot, balanced to where you're going to have all the cookies the same size and possibly shape as well. You can bake them exactly like this and they'll come out super cute and nice. Or as you'll see in a little bit, I'm going to squish them down just using my fingers. You can also use the back of that ice cream scooper or a glass or something to squish them down, but I like to use my fingers. It's just, practical and easier to do it that way. And you'll notice some of those don't have floating chocolate chips at the top. You can always add a couple of chunks of chocolate chips or pecans. These are going to go in the oven for 350 degrees for 15 to 18 minutes, depending on your oven. So keep an eye on them. You want to make sure they're golden brown. So now to my cookies. I'm going to be scraping this down and show y'all what I like to do to my cookies. Usually I take my collagen in a smoothie, but whenever I'm doing OMAD or 1 meal a day or fasting, I can't cram a smoothie into my lunch. So I can always eat cookies, right? So I decided to add my collagen powder to my cookies. Since my collagen dissolves pretty quickly, it's going to be super fast and easy to incorporate this into my cookie mix. So I'm going to add 12 little scoops of these, and it just gives me an opportunity to eat 2 or 3 cookies and get my full serving of collagen in. So I'm going to scoop 12 of these. and then make sure to mix it all up. And if you'd like to try K-Nutri, by the way, it's the best collagen powder I've tried. It dissolves super quick. I do have a coupon code, which I'll pop up right here, and you can use that for 20% off every time that you order. So now I'm mixing that up, and we're going to be scooping them the same way. And like I said, you can leave them into little balls like the scoop creates, or you can squish them down. Sometimes when I'm like feeling fancy, I like to leave them as little balls and just bake them as is. But in this case, I'm just going to squish them down because I like them crispy too. So I want them extra crispy. I'll probably be leaving them in the oven for a little bit longer, like closer to the 18-minute mark, so I can get them a little crispier. So squish these babies down, and we're going to be popping them in the oven for 15 to 18 minutes at 350 degrees. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Please comment below, subscribe, and turn on that notification. Ding that little bell, you guys. Thanks for watching.